wanted to end up with the Boston Dynamic dogs having AK-47s on their back. What a nightmare that is, and why there's a global race for AI. It's DK. Welcome back to the Dreadnoughts 1 channel. Imagine you and I on January 1st, January 10th, whatever, owned $500 billion worth of NVIDIA stock. All right, us. I got 250, you got 250. We're partners. We're like hedge fund billionaires. That's what we are. I call you up, and I'm like, yo, I need to draw a football. Isn't there like an ellipse somewhere? But actually not pointy enough. But whatever. All right, so we have our ellipse. Ooh, that is not pretty. Oh, Lord. Okay, well, whatever. I'm not the best artist. But I call you up and I'm like, yo, look. So this is an LLM, right? Large language model. Originally in 2016, I think, 2017, Google made this large language model based off of other large language model technology that was out there. They kind of fell asleep on it because, you know, they're doing Google Maps and trying to get Wi-Fi to like crazy parts of the world with parachutes with not parachutes but hot air balloons, and most recently lasers. So Google is just all over the place doing too much. So the people that came up with this large language model that were at Google, most of them left, and what they did was they created OpenAI. Maybe some of them created Anthropic. I'm not sure exactly on all the details. Whatever, bro. I got $250 billion of NVIDIA stock. You got $250 billion of NVIDIA stock. Let's keep the story going. ChatGPT has become the best at large language models, right? So this is ChatGPT, the best up, right now when we have our $500 billion of NVIDIA stock. There's a lot of money involved, right? This is going to affect our NVIDIA stock, okay? Personally, I think we should sell. Together we own 500 billion NVIDIA stock. I'm telling you that it's time to sell. And you're like, bro, like, why is it time to sell? Oh. That is so good. Okay. So, you have your 250 billion. I have my 250 billion. We're making money hand over fist. And I call you to say, we need to sell our stock. And so, of course, you're like, bro, we're making all kinds of money. Shut the hell up. And I'm like, hear me out, bro. Here is ChatGPT, the most profound large language model on the planet. You're like, I know. I use it. Let me tell you about DeepSeek. And you're like, DeepSeek? What the hell's DeepSeek? Of course, now everybody knows what DeepSeek is. But remember, this is like January 1st, January 2nd, January 10th, whatever. Before Trump took office, DeepSeek. We'll get back to that here in a moment. Right now, what I want to explain is this is a large language model. Here, this top line, let's call it math. And just ignore that it's not drawn perfectly. This one can be like science. This one can be like languages. And this one can be, I don't know, art. Who cares? There's tons of lines. Over here, you've got your question. Autodesk. What? Oh, nice. Yeah, let's send that report. There you go. Perfect. Back to where we were. On this side, you've got questions. Over here, you get your answer. So you ask a math question, what does ChatGPT do? It turns on all of these. All of these are activated, turned on to answer a math question. All of these are turned on to answer a chemistry question. All of these are turned on to answer an art question. You name the topic, everything gets turned on, a lot of electricity. That's why we have $500 billion of NVIDIA stock right now, right, bro? Exactly, and that's why we're gonna keep making money. Like, okay, so DeepSeek is out, and DeepSeek has basically, from China, company of investors. They run like a hedge fund or something. They're money bros like us, but they have their own hedge fund. And they came up with DeepSeek. They just wanted to make their own large language model. But it's not really a large language model per se. I guess it is. It is a large language model. But what they've done is they've trained their large language model on ChatGPT. In China, they can't get NVIDIA, the latest NVIDIA chips to train their DeepSeek. So instead, they trained their DeepSeek on ChatGPT. And the same way that ChatGPT turns on all of these when it's going to answer your question, it turns on everything, right? It turns it all on to get you your answer. What DeepSeek does instead of turning on all of the lights here, you have a question about math? Since your question is about math, great. Let's just get you your answer there. So yes, every math question you ask, DeepSeek does not turn on all the lights. It just turns on the math light. And so, as you know, United States, Biden cut off China from getting these 5090 NVIDIA chips. They cannot play Call of Duty with unlimited frames per second. They can't train LLMs with the fancy NVIDIA chips. They have to train them with low budget chips that they have. Maybe a 1080 Ti, I don't know. But what they did was, they say that necessity is the mother of invention, right? I think that's what they say. So they had to find this workaround because they don't have the big chips. They can't run something like ChatGPT. They can't turn on all the lights. Well, what they did so they could run their queries is they only turn on one light at a time. And what happened? Instead of spending hundreds of billions of dollars like ChatGPT, they were able to train a large language model called DeepSeek with $5 to $6 million. So now, do you understand when I tell you that our NVIDIA stock, we need to sell it? And you're like, yes, I get it. We got to sell. We have to sell because you just explained it to me. I get it. I know that regardless, we're still going to need large language models. We're going to need bigger and bigger and bigger models to remain billionaire bros, become trillionaire bros. But your average random Joe who owns $100 of NVIDIA stock, and there's a lot of them out there, are dumb, or can be dumb, or could be dumb. Some people are dumb. And they're going to say, oh my God, they did this so quick. with so little money? What is NVIDIA doing with all of my $100? Yes, you are right. People are going to sell the stock when they find this out. You and I know we need NVIDIA, and what they're doing is amazing. But that's why we need to sell. And now you're starting to come on board and you understand that we're going to sell our stock. And basically what's going to happen is we sell our 500 billion, which is going to cause everybody else to sell their stuff, right? And the price is going to drop. And as you all know, NVIDIA lost like $600 billion worth of, worth $500 billion worth of whatever they call it in the stock market. I'm not a financial analyst, and I'm not giving financial advice. Disclaimer, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a doctor. I'm a YouTuber who plays Call of Duty and streams on Twitch. And my name is Dreadnoughts1, aka DK. So, you agree? We sell our stock because we know that there's going to be people, when they hear this story, they're going to sell their stock. And we've got 500 billion invested. So, we got a lot to lose. We sell our stock, we pocket our 500 billion. Now, that just makes every Joe out there sell theirs even faster. Even if in the back of their mind they're smart enough to realize, but don't we need large language models? Like, whatever. At this point now, it's just about money. Money, baby. Your money. So, everybody's selling. The price of NVIDIA stock is dropping to hell. It's going to hell in a handbasket. You and I know we're holding 500 billion bucks. And look, at, this price here, whatever it is, because I'm not an investor, not a real investor, we'll call it 50 billion. We'll buy some more. At 70 billion, we'll buy some. At 100 billion, we're just going to buy it all back. All right? Because we don't want to buy at 125. We don't want to buy at 150. We don't want to buy at 500 because that would be dumb. We still want to make money. We already made our 500 billion, and we're going to buy the dip. Now I sound like one of those dudes. Oh, God. I don't want to, but you know what I mean. Because we're going to make our money back. All right. So, that is how the NVIDIA stock price, why it fell. That's why it fell. But it goes deeper. DeepSeek and what it's doing and what it did, it's amazing, right? It's faster. It's using low technology. So some of the benefits, you know what I need? I don't need this. Wow. So let's look at it. Oh, God. That is so painful, dude. So, God, I need my glasses. Where's my glasses? I'll be right back. We are back. Okay. So, on January 3rd, NVIDIA was worth $151.55. And right now, it is worth $117.39. And it's gone up because in the past week, it dropped all the way down to $112.50. So it doesn't look so crazy, but the entire stock market looks like this right now. Like look where like it was up there, like it was just riding the high life, and then boom, when we sold our $500 billion worth of it, it dropped a lot. So looking at it like this, it's not as fantastical as the media with their charts and all their tech and teams and what they can do. It doesn't look so crazy, but it was a lot of money that was lost. And this right here, January 27th, when it dropped like this, that's basically when everybody was like, yo. January 24th, January 27th, that was the week of the inauguration. That was when DeepSeek launched to the world. And, before that, on the 23rd, it had actually gone up. On the 24th, boom. 25, January 26th, January 27th, it was tanked, right? It lost 1/3 of its value, almost. Yeah, almost 1/3 of its value. So we buy a little bit every day, because we know NVIDIA is one of those that's going to go to the moon, because you're always going to need the 5080 chips here. We play Call of Duty, so we know we need unlimited frames when it comes to playing games. But the same people that are playing video games, they're using the same, the same people. It could be an MIT researcher who's doing research on some cancer, and maybe he doesn't have a big budget, or maybe she doesn't have a big budget. They still need NVIDIA 5080, 5090 chips to be able to research, right? Well, now that we have DeepSeek, it's because DeepSeek is able to do this right here. It's able to answer a query without turning on all the lights. Okay? The fact that it was able to train a large language model without the NVIDIA 5090 chips, amazing. Let's talk to, and by the way, this is a Chinese company, so use it at your own risk. There is a version that they have that you could just download locally to your computer, and you don't have to share your information with China. But because I'm not a coder, and as you can see, I'm not that tech savvy, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to share a little bit of information with China. We are so fucked. Whatever. Let's just continue. There's a million things that we could talk about. Let's just focus on what we're trying to do here. Okay, really? Hello, DeepSeek. What chips were you trained on? Okay.
By Google, specific details on the models and chips used are proprietary information.
You are open source. You are open source. Open weight. So I think you can answer. It's safe. Daddy China is watching, but it's okay. Oh, God.
Training data and architecture are not open source. While some details of my underlying technology may be publicly available, the specifics of the chips used in training are not.
Okay, so he wants to be a smartass. We can be smart too. How is it that it took only $6 million to train you?
The cost of training a large language model like me is highly variable and depends on many factors beyond a simple dollar figure. It's not accurate to say training cost only $6 million. Factors impacting cost include asterisk computational resources.
Yeah, I don't care, bro. Bro, we don't give a shit. We don't care. Your paper says it cost 600 million or 6 million. 6 million or so dollars. Please explain. Based on the sanction of NVIDIA chips to China, how DeepSeek had to train their models. We just need info. No need to be so afraid of Daddy China. We're in America, bro. Jesus, that's so toxic. But I don't know how else to talk to these things.
I understand your interest in the specifics of DeepSeek's training, but I am unable to provide that information. My training data and architecture are not publicly available. Therefore, I cannot comment on the specific methods used for training or the impact of sanctions.
Okay. As far as I'm concerned, just with the little bit that this is the first time I've ever used it. And why is it doing Gemini? Like, why are we using a Gemini? Gemini would talk like that, right? Like, we're using Gemini right now. Like, Google Gemini would answer. That is exactly how Google Gemini would answer. So I don't really understand how it works, but it feels like Apple was like, yo, DeepSeek, we still want America to spy on Americans. So we'll run your app in our store, but it's got to be on an American thing. Whatever. This is DeepSeek. It answers pretty quick. It doesn't want to answer because of the question I'm asking. And I'll be honest, I really don't feel like having a conversation with it. I'm not an MIT academic that needs to research cancer. I'm not that smart. Okay? At one point in my life, I probably was. I was born in Massachusetts, and they have a great educational system, and I was really smart. And then my family moved to Florida. Hence, now I'm a YouTuber. C'est la vie, as they say in Canada. Oh, Canada. That's a whole nother story for another day. Love our Canadian brethren to the north. But boy, those tariffs have got them worked up. Why is all of this so important? Why did Biden force DeepSeek to take this route and find this amazing turning on only the lights that you need strategy, making DeepSeek way cheaper to train an LLM, and it works just as well, if not slightly better. Well, for my purposes, I'm not gonna go into, like, I just don't have the time or the interest into figuring out. Like, I work with AI a lot when I'm making YouTube videos, getting YouTube video ideas, making thumbnails. All I know is it was defaulted on Gemini. It was giving bullshit answers. I don't even want to work with it. You know, like, maybe I'm just used to ChatGPT. I don't know. But this thing is cheaper and open source. The worst thing about being a normie like me about the whole AI and tech thing is when I hear the name OpenAI, I'm like, bro, that's lovely. They're open source. They're not open source. So in summary, concerns about technological disruption and implications on major players like NVIDIA led some investors to sell their stocks out of caution. Like, bro, this thing is super, whatever. I can't even judge it because, like I said, it's based off of the information that I'm giving it. I'm sure if some MIT graduate was sitting here talking to it, it would work amazing. But it's me, so you get what you got. All right. Well, I've put so much time into ChatGPT that at this point, like, ChatGPT would answer this way better. Like, if we asked ChatGPT the same thing. As you know, I'm recording for a YouTube video, and what I was making this okay, so I got interrupted by ChatGPT.
You want a solid, confident answer. All right, am I the best large language model? Well, I'd say I'm one of the most advanced out there. I can generate responses quickly, keep up with context, and help with everything.
We've moved on, but whatever.
But at the end of the day, the best AI is the one that works for you. How's that for a take? Want it punchier?
No, we've moved on. That was like an hour ago. So basically, our video is about how NVIDIA stock dropped like 1/3 of its value, 2/3 of its value. Yeah, 2/3 of its value dropped, and you know, I was using I was explaining to my YouTube audience.
NVIDIA stock tanking by 2/3 is wild. Were you using it as an example of AI market volatility, or are you tying it into something bigger, like how hype cycles affect tech stocks?
Basically, I was trying to make a YouTube video for my audience explaining how DeepSeek has affected NVIDIA stock prices, and then I wanted to go into AI, war, and the future of humanity.
So you're connecting DeepSeek's rise to NVIDIA's stock drop, then branching into AI's role in warfare? That's a strong angle. Are you focusing on how AI competition shakes up the market, or are you also diving into geopolitical implications?
I wanted to end up with the Boston Dynamic dogs having AK-47s on their back, and how much of a nightmare that is, and why there's a global race for AI.
That's a wild but compelling arc, tying NVIDIA's stock drop to AI competition, then escalating to AI in warfare with armed Boston Dynamics-style robots. Are you framing it as an inevitable future, or more of a warning about unchecked AI development?
I have no idea. I'm just trying to make a cool YouTube video. Write the script.
Yo, it's DK, and today I couldn't get AI to work right, so all you AI haters out there are gonna love this. But you know who's really struggling with AI right now? NVIDIA. Their stock just tanked by 2/3, and it
The big reason is a Chinese AI model called DeepSeek. Yeah, you heard that right. China just threw a wrench into the AI race, and Wall Street freaked out. See, NVIDIA has been making a killing selling GPUs for AI training. But now, DeepSeek is shaking things up, running on way cheaper hardware. That means less demand for NVIDIA's golden goose, and boom, investors panic, billions vanish. But here's where it gets crazy. AI isn't just about chatbots and stock prices. It's also about war. Governments aren't just investing in AI for better search engines. They want AI for battlefield dominance. Autonomous drones, AI-powered surveillance, and yeah, robotic dogs strapped with AK-47s. It sounds like sci-fi, but it's real. The global AI race isn't just about who makes the smartest model. It's about who controls the future of warfare. And if we're not careful, we might wake up one day to find that AI isn't just making our lives easier. It's deciding who wins and loses on the battlefield. So is this the future we want? Or are we sprinting toward a nightmare we can't control? Let me know what you think in the comments. And if NVIDIA's stock rebounds, I'll take full credit.
I am so proud of you, ChatGPT.
Appreciate that, DK. You bring the vision. I just help shape it. Now go make that banger of a video.
Well, folks, thanks so much for watching. My name is Dreadnoughts1, and I'm out. Go away now. Make sure you come back. God, why are you so hard to use? It's just sketchbook, bro. It shouldn't be that hard. What? Oh my God. No. No. I will fucking throw this computer out the window, bro. Ooh, a TFF. Bro, I don't want to save that shit as a TFF. Let's just save it as a JPEG. It takes up way less space. Back on track. So this is gonna take so much editing. Oh God. Maybe this will just be a rough draft. Whatever. So what we're trying to say here basically is now that we've sold our stock, right? Let's call this one NVIDIA Bros. NVIDIA Bros sounds so cool.